The Chicago Bulls find themselves down at halftime to the New York Knicks, unfortunately, 63-72. Can the Chicago Bulls perform much better in the second half of a night that's here to celebrate Derrick Rose? We're going to talk about it all and more, but first, we're going to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content for today, y'all. And this game's been rough for the Bulls. Now, it hasn't been completely down. Zach LaVine's 9 of 15 for 20 points. He has 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Only 2 turnovers for Zach LaVine. Coby White has 15 points on 9 shots, which is solid for him, especially with the slump that he's been in. So he's playing pretty solidly. But outside of that, there's been nothing for the Bulls. So 35 of the Bulls' 63 points have come from Zach LaVine and Coby White. Josh Giddey with 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 5 points. He still is on triple-double watch. It could not only be Derrick Rose celebration night, it could end up being a Vegemite night. We'll see what happens there. 7 points from Nikola Vucevic with 3 rebounds, 5 points from Patrick Williams. He's 1 of 4 from the field for 4 rebounds, 2 assists as well in this game. Off the bench, 4 for Jalen, 2 for Modest Bucelis, 3 for Julian Phillips, 2 for Taylor Horton Tucker. That's really it, right? And when you look at this, the flip side of that for the New York Knicks, they got 13 points from Bridges, 26 points from Jalen Brunson, 17 points from Karl Anthony Towns, right? 8 points from OG Anunoby. Josh Hart hasn't scored any points yet, but you're not really looking at him. They've gone 3 deep into their bench. Precious Achiuwa with 3 points, 3 points for Cameron Payne, 2 points for Landry Shamet as well in this game. But overall, it's a little bit rough today. When it comes down to it. The Bulls got to get some stuff together. They got to tighten up their play. If they do that, they can very well be in this game, but it's not going to be easy for them by any stretch of the imagination. The Bulls are really going to have to dig in, and they're going to have to figure some shit out if they want to pull out this game and to get this victory on Derrick Rose night, which you better damn well want to get the victory. It's D Rose night. Get the damn dub, right? Secure the win. But we'll see what happens there if the Bulls are able to get that win and tighten some things up. You know, we got a big celebration for Derrick Rose coming up on this as well. So it is what it is. Casey Johnson's talking now. Not a terrible half, but we got to clean some stuff up fast. That's the fact. Big fact there. I think they're doing good. Just got to make these foul count and hurt on the flimsy. Listen, Brunson is definitely. But hold on, y'all.
First pick, the Chicago Bulls select Derrick Rose. Big time players make big time plays, boys.
Can y'all hear this? I hope it's coming through. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
And now, from Chicago, at guard, number 1, 6'3", Derrick Rose.
Man, this is so nostalgic. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Now, please welcome Joakim Noah, Stacey King, and Neil Funk.
Good evening, Bulls fans. What a night here at the United Center as we celebrate Derrick and his legacy. He left an indelible mark on not just this franchise, but the city of Chicago as well. The impressive thing
Never
about
take that
Derrick
away from the
was
city.
that he never shied away from being a Chicago kid playing for the Chicago Bulls. Rather, he embraced it.
That's a fact.
And Derrick, watching you play was a privilege, and broadcasting your games along with this guy right here was an honor.
Bringing
and a
Neil
treat
back,
every
Neil Funk back
single
tonight is
night.
crazy, by the
And
way.
Stacey, I know you've never enjoyed broadcasting as much as when you could do a Derrick Rose game.
Derrick will go down as one of the most explosive and dynamic guards in the history of the NBA. He was such a pleasure to watch. He's a treat here in Chicago. You gave this city, D. Rose, and these great Bulls fans something to cheer for every single night, and you left it on the floor. One thing about Chicago, it's a hard-working city that wants to get behind this team and its people. And where there's a native Chicago wearing this uniform, it hits just a little bit different.
That's a fact, Stacey.
I could sit here all night and tell you all the great stories and all the great highlights that we had with Derrick Rose that I had the pleasure of calling because he made my career. I'm going to be honest. Without Derrick, I might not be so exciting. But I will say this about Derrick Rose. When I got into broadcasting field, I was working with the late, great Johnny Red Kerr. My thing, yeah, give Johnny Red a round of applause. One of the things I asked Johnny Red Kerr, because I knew what it was like playing with Michael Jordan, winning, the competitive spirit, and everything that comes with Michael being a teammate. I wanted to know what it was like for Johnny Red Kerr to call Michael Jordan games. And he told me, he said, Stacey, it's like an artist that paints the perfect picture every single night, never makes a mistake, and it's the most beautiful thing to watch. I never thought personally I would ever get a chance to see and call a more dynamic player. I thought my chance was over. You very seldom get two Haize Comets coming in the same city. And Derrick Rose was at Haize Comet. And I got so lucky in my broadcasting career to call this young man's games. And I tell you what, it's a pleasure and a joy. He's one of the most humble superstar players I've ever met. He put this city on his back. He loves the city of Chicago. And this night is his. And tonight, MVP. And tonight, he will be immortalized with all the great Bulls players up in that rafter. That number one will hang for eternity. Go ahead, Neil.
We are lucky to have with us
The Bulls
another Bulls legend and one of Derrick's favorite
It's
teammates,
fake. It's fake. It's fake.
Joakim Noah.
Fake.
Give me a hug, girl.
I don't get you again.
Yeah, you got me. I thought you broke this man. I love you.
Taking time.
You know Derrick better than almost anyone. Talk about D. Rose, the person.
Sorry.
All right, first I want to acknowledge the Chicago Bulls, Nancy
You good,
Reinsdorf, Michael Reinsdorf, Jerry Reinsdorf for this great night. This is a special night for Pooh. I want to start by saying shout out to all our former teammates who are in the building today. We have teammates who flew from Switzerland. We have teammates that flew from Africa. Shout out Luol Deng in the building. Zangalewa. Brenda, this night is just as much for your son as it is for you. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda.
Man.
Elena, Tibbs used to always tell us, keep your house in order. You got this house in order. You got this house in order. Respect, sis. My sister for real. The kids, PJ, Layla, London, this night is for you guys as well. Who? This story is not just about your success. It's about hope. It's about overcoming adversity. Every time you step into the UC, the fans are gonna chant MVP.
That's a fact.
MVP, 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 MVP. You're an MVP. You're the youngest MVP in NBA history. You're the MVP of Chicago. Being the MVP carries a lot of responsibility. The way you handle yourself through all of that, that's what I'm inspired about. You always put your city on your back and you carry that with you.
Hey.
You're not only the MVP.
You want to take a shot?
You're not only the MVP.
And there's people who saying that he should not be acknowledged. Come on, man.
You're the people's champ.
What are we talking about? Salute.
I remember being on the plane with Pooh, and he had a wizard tattoo on his shoulder. And I was like, Pooh, that tattoo is terrible. Like, you gonna change that up? And he said, no. This tattoo is to remember where I came from. I remember that. I remember playing Indiana Pacers on this court, playoffs. Every time you went to the hole, Jeff Foster was putting you on your ass. And I remember Tim Flowers looking at me. If you don't do something about this, Sticks, I'm gonna get on this court. Hope is a powerful emotion. You give people that every single day. You give your teammates hope because we knew we had the best player on the court every single night.
Back.
You gave these fans hope because they knew they were watching the most exciting player every single night. You give your city hope. I seen it yesterday at Simeon, how proud they are of you. I salute you, Pooh, and everything that you stand for.
Speak on it.
To see you come out of this journey at peace is what I'm most proud of. And that's why they put in that #1 in the rafters, bro. I love you, and it was a pleasure lacing them up with you, bro.
Thanks, Joe. And now, Bulls fans, we'd like you to take a look at the video board for a short film
Who crying?
directed
Who crying?
by our own Derrick Rose. And I don't think at the finish of this little film you're going to see that any of us could have said this any better than PJ did. This is for you, Chicago. Roll it.
You want to be good or great?
Great.
Starting at guard from Chicago, #1. Feel good to be back, huh?
Roses need water and sunlight to grow. But this rose
Serve you up, son.
needed a city. A city that believes from Inglewood to Lakeshore, and a quiet kid with a loud dream. A city that raises you with tough love, then lifts you up in tough times. A city where family extends beyond a single tree, planting seeds of hope when you need it most. A city that stays together no matter how hard the wind blows.
You're gonna get some love when you come up in here, you understand that now, don't you?
A city whose soil is rich with wisdom.
Yeah, you see them banners up there, boy.
I'm still feeling seeing no elbow in my chest.
Passed down through generations. A city that stands as tall as its skyline, showing us all how to rise above. A rose can be many colors, but this rose will forever be Chicago Red.
Hey, man.
Yo.
I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. First off, I want to start off by thanking the Bulls for allowing this to go on. I want to thank every teammate that came here, flew from other places to make time. All you guys that came here to show love and support tonight. But I really want to talk to the kids. So in the beginning of this video, I mentioned to PJ, do you want to be good or great? And he don't know, but that's my way of tricking him. So with me tricking him, I could be very specific and say, do you want to be good in basketball or great in basketball? But I'm gonna make it broad. I'm gonna make it broad so that when he say great, I can hold you accountable for everything in your life if I see you not being great at it. That's the same thing that he passed on to his kid, his siblings, and that's a joke, like a joke that we have in the house. If they see me lacking on something, they say, Dad, you want to be good or great? And then make me remember, I'm trying to be great. You hear me? Great.
Hey, yo, man.
Being great sometimes, you're gonna be disliked. You have to show courage that through that, people disliking you or whatever it is, that I'm confident in my choice. I'm confident that I will make it. I wanna be great. You wanna be great, I told you. And you all too. Greatness and great. I don't see you falling off nowhere under that. You hear me? So, thank you, Chicago, for forcing me to be great. Putting those expectations on me. Not understanding that I was trying to be great the entire time too. And I just didn't know the environment that I was in that was forcing me to. So thank you for everybody that watched me ever since I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, injuries, MVP, playoff losses, playoff wins. Thank you. But I must say, that is going to be the old Pooh. This new version of me, is what you see. I am a businessman now. Thank you.
Hey, if your eyes ain't a little bit wet, man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. If you got a dry eye in the house right now, man, you're not alive, bro. You're not a Bulls fan. I don't understand.
One more time for Chicago's
Hey, yo.
own MVP, Derrick Rose.
Listen, I don't know how to follow that up. I don't know what else to say. I know this isn't our usual halftime show, but I think that that's the best place to leave that. I want to use this time to say this and share my own personal story. I was 19 years old when the Bulls drafted Derrick Rose. 19 years old. I had just become a father. And I still remember buying my son as a toddler Derrick Rose jersey, right? And so, like, to see Derrick Rose go from being a kid to I was watching a kid, he was a kid, I was watching him play, right? To now seeing him be this man, this father that he's turned into, and just the growth, right? It's just it's amazing and beautiful to see. And he deserves every bit of the accolades. Like I said, no Derrick Rose slander. I don't care how people feel about it, if they agree or they disagree. Derrick Rose deserves all of this. The retirement, the celebration. I don't care. I want to hear that the Bulls are trying to milk it for 2 years in a row. Derrick Rose deserves 2 nights. Derrick Rose deserves 2 nights in 2 separate years to be celebrated. And I don't give a shit that they're using it tonight to celebrate his retirement. And I don't give a damn that they're going to be celebrating his jersey retirement next year. I don't care about none of that. You know what I care about is that that young brother deserves to be celebrated in this franchise that we haven't always seen eye to eye with, this franchise that we don't always agree with how their maneuvers and things like that. Say what you will. We all have our own opinions. We disagree. But one thing is that we all love Derrick Rose. And that is an amazing moment. I'm glad that I got to have this moment with y'all. And I'm just going to leave it there, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Shout out to Derrick Rose. I'll see you guys post-game show. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See red. And thank you, Derrick. I know you'll never see it, but thank you. Love you guys. Go Bulls.